even new to me, my name is Suzette Viernon, and I am a life coach and relationship solutionist that helps high-achieving women over 40, yes, who are struggling in their relationships, in their romantic relationships, and they want more, right? They want more. Whether they're struggling or not, they might just be going through relationships and it's the same old, and they want more, right? They want more quality relationships. I help them to redefine what makes them enough in love and in their lives, so they can break the cycle. They can break the cycle of failed relationships. They can break the cycle of monotony. They can break whatever cycle, whatever they're stuck in. They can break that and attract real deal, great love into their lives. Last week I shared with you one of the things that had to happen for me to become more relationship ready. And that was that I had to get to a point that accepting anything less than great was not going to happen. I was not going to do it anymore. I was not going to rationalize it. I was not going to be talked into it. I was not going to second guess myself anymore. That anything less than great, I won't have in it. I was not going to accept anything less than great. And when I made that decision, I had to get busy. I had to get busy understanding what great was for me. Not other people's great, but what would great love look like for me? And who would I have to become in order to manifest and attract that kind of love into my life? Well, today we're looking at it more deeply. We're looking at it from the standpoint of being defensive. Are you defensive? Or are you defenseless? Are you coming into the relationship space defensive or defenseless? So yeah, we're going more deeply into this thing. And so I started thinking about two other awakenings, ahas, that had to take place, other commitments that had to take place in me before I was relationship ready. And I was looking at it, and what came up for me was you have to be willing. You have to be willing, a willing participant in this relationship space. And I hear you. I get it. I get it. As women over 40, we don't have time for nonsense. As women over 40, we don't want the same old thing. We don't want to play any games. We're about ours. We're on our grind. Well, not on my grind anymore, but we're focused on something, right? Because I don't believe you have to hustle and grind your way. I think that's a choice. But anyway, that's me. I digress. But that you're focusing on something. You're focusing on advancing in some way, right? And I understand that. And I also understand that your past relationships have left you with a bandwidth of about like this. When it comes to being willing. But can I say to you, can I propose to you that sometimes this whole no nonsense thing can be a symptom of defensiveness? That it can cause you to show up in the relationship space with armor on, defensive, right? Easily triggered. You hear anything that sounds like something you don't want to hear or something that you've been through before, and it's like, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Ain't got time for that. See, you men always come with this. And you may not say it, but guess what? You may not say it, but your energy, the way you come into the space, defensiveness is all over here. It's written all across here. It's in your shoulders. You're tense. You have this I'm better than you kind of attitude. This kind of, you men, oh my God. You kind of come in with an arrogant disposition. You come in with your dukes up. When you're like that, ladies, you're not willing. When you've got an attention span this small, a willingness this small, you're not willing. You're not relationship ready. When you've got a list so long that even Jesus would not qualify as your Mr. Right, you're not willing. When you're so busy, it's something that Dr. Phil said that got a real chuckle out of me. It got a real chuckle out of me. He said, I know you want a relationship, but if a man has to hurl himself on the hood of your fast-moving car to get your attention, then you're not ready. You're not available, right? And if you are so busy going for yours that when a man wants to approach you, he can't even get your attention, you're not willing, right? And kind of what goes hand in hand with willingness is openness. In order to be relationship ready, you need to be open, right? Now let me clarify openness, because I think it can sometimes get us in a lot of trouble. Being open does not mean being easy. Okay? Being open does not mean being so chill that anything goes. Being open does not mean being passive. Right? Because you're a quality woman. And for the sake of being open does not mean that you're just going to take any and everything just because you're open to it. Well, I'm open to it. He doesn't have this, he doesn't do that, but I'm open. Openness does not mean that you don't have any boundaries. Openness does not mean that you don't have any standards. I would argue that it's having boundaries and having standards that you trust that causes you to be more open. Because most of the time when we're not open, it's because we're afraid. We're afraid of being taken advantage of. And so it causes us to kind of suit up. Right? But open means you're cooperative. Open means, yeah, I'm open to your point of view. I'm open to your point of view. Does that mean it changes your standard, though? No. And many times, women that say they're open, it means they have no standards. They can be talked out of their standards. They can be talked out of their authentic voice. They can be, that's not open. That's easy. That's easy. And no person worth their salt wants easy, wants an wants easy pickings, wants low-hanging fruit. Nobody wants that. No, 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 no. We are women of class. We are quality women. We're women who have done work on ourselves. And if you sit under me long enough, you realize part of doing that work is working on your relationship self. So that means you're getting very clear about your standards. That they're not just something that your pain created to protect you, but that they are standards that have come from you being open to yourself, to your protecting your soul's joy, caring about yourself, esteeming yourself, right? So when I talk about being open, it means that you are able to listen to a person. You're open to investing in yourself. You're open to learning about men and not trying to make them be who you are. You're open. You understand that people have different backgrounds and different ways of coming at something. Because here's the thing. You cannot be in a relationship thinking that it's just your way or the highway. There has to be an openness to relate. Relating is a giving and receiving. You have to be open to receiving. You have to be, in order to be relationship ready. And if you don't, if you're not open, if you're rigid in your thinking, if you're rigid in your expectations, if you're so rigid that you disqualify a man or disqualify what could be a beautiful relationship because of minor things, then you're not ready. I remember hearing somebody once say, if a man does not open the door for me, he's not going to get a second date. But what was he like on the date? Oh, he was a great guy. He was very warm. He was very nice. But he didn't open the door for me. And you think to yourself, okay, if opening the door for you is something that's important to you, did you mention it? Did you say anything about it? Did you suggest it? Because obviously he wanted the date. Obviously he wanted to get to know you. There are ways that you can show somebody something without being testy, arrogant, or disqualifying them. My husband was not a door opener. He did when we first started dating, but then when we got a little bit more comfortable with each other, sometimes he'd open the door and sometimes he didn't, right? It did not change that he was engaged in the relationship. Sometimes he has so much on his mind, he doesn't think about it. But all I have to do is just sit there and and he'll come back and open the door and say, oh, sorry, excuse me. I'm like, yeah, because we're on a date, man. Come on, we're on a date, man. And I make it playful. And he knows I'm not going to, beat him over the head or hold him to task over something like that. Now, if that's an indication of other ways that he is not regarding you or respecting you, then okay. But openness is, hey, let's get to know the person. Let's get to know them on a broader scale. If there are no red flags, some things can be inspired. Some things can be negotiated. So openness is very, very important. So those are the other two nuggets that I wanted to share with you today. So in recapping, 3 things that I've shared with you that will help you to determine just how ready you are for a great relationship. One is a commitment to not accepting anything less. Two is being a willing participant, meaning you're approachable, you're accessible, you're available. And three, being open, but not open to any old thing, but open to a man being a man, open to not trying to change him, open to other ways of thinking and being, and just open to relating. If you're sitting there judging and disqualifying him, you're not open. Relating is giving and receiving. And I welcome your thoughts. If you have any other thoughts about willingness that you'd like to share in the comments, put them in the comments. Any other things about being willing, any life experiences, any things about being open, even any struggles that you're having that you might would want me to address in a future relationship live. I won't expose you. I'll just talk about what it is that you submitted to me. Send me a DM, direct message me, and we'll have the real talk conversations. Well, thank you for tuning in. And again, this is Suzette Biernon, your life coach and relationship solutionist, wanting you to know that you're worthy, you're worth it. You are more than enough. Bye now.